What up, world? I'm Steve. You guys are the crypto crew, and this is where we keep crypto simple and easy to understand. In today's video, it's an exciting one. It's one you guys have been wanting. It is, when do you sell cryptocurrencies? How do you maximize your profits? We're going to be going over 3 simple, easy to follow steps to sell your cryptocurrencies, when to sell. Before we get into the video, I want to start this video, give a quick 10 seconds about myself. Because I grew up with little money, I started earning my own money when I was 7 years old. By the time I was 16, I fell in love with the stock market. On my 26th birthday, I was reminiscing and I thought life couldn't get any better than it was. I had a great job in corporate America. I was making a lot of money, and I had just got myself a pretty big birthday present. The present was I paid off all of my debt, including 4 years of university. And shortly after that time, I decided to leave it all. I decided to quit my job. And I did it for 3 reasons. 1, I wanted to be my own boss. 2, I wanted to do something I was more passionate about. And 3, I wanted to affect more people in more people's lives. Here we are 6 years later. I've been lucky and fortunate to be my own boss since that day I left. And I'm super passionate about the crypto space. It's a huge potential, and I'm really passionate about keeping it simple and also teaching everybody how to maximize their money. That's why I created the classes that are linked in the description. They've been an enormous success, and we'll get to those a little bit later. But as we jump into the video, I just want to give a special shout out to the crypto crew. Now almost 11,000 subscribers. We've grown ridiculously fast, so thank you to you guys. It's all thanks to you guys. And if you're new, you definitely want to subscribe right now. Click that subscribe button. We welcome you into the crypto crew, and fist pound to the crypto crew. As you guys know, each and every video is my opinion and not financial advice. Let's jump into it. This is an exciting one. So here's the storyline. Let's say you're going through right now your portfolio and you're like, wow, there's some coins I really want to get rid of, but I don't know when is the right time to sell. We're going to go through some examples. Maybe it's with Bitcoin, or maybe you want to sell some IOTA or Dash, something that's been going down. You want to sell it. So let's go over 3 simple techniques you can use, 3 simple rules in order to sell. So right here, we're looking at the Bitcoin USD chart. All right, this is also linked in the description. This is Coinigy if you want your charts to look exactly like this. There's the indicators button here. We've got our 3 moving averages. Oh, the RSI. You guys wanted me to turn the RSI into green. I would have to agree. So now we have the RSI in green. Okay, so indicator number 1, rule number 1 of when to sell. Now, we're going to go over 3 simple things on when to sell, and we want to have an answer of yes to each one of the 3. If we answer yes to each of the 3, then we're allowed to sell. If we don't answer yes to all 3, we're not allowed to sell. So this is very similar to our 3 rules of when to buy. We did that video a few days ago. That is in the description. So the first one we want to talk about, rule number 1, is did we achieve our goal? What I mean by that is anytime, this is Bitcoin. Let's say you bought Bitcoin over here when it was, let's say, $16,000. Whenever you buy any coin, you want to have a strategy of how much profit you want to make or how long you want to hold the coin. If you guys aren't sure of how to make these judgments, that's why we created the class. So those are incredibly helpful because a lot of my students ended up buying Bitcoin over here before they found my classes. And since we've created strategy and rules to talk about when to sell. So the first one is whenever you buy You want to have a strategy of when to sell. Let's make it simple. Let's say that you want to double your money. So you buy Bitcoin. Let's say you bought Bitcoin at 7,000 and you want to double your money. So you're looking at $15,000 of achieving your goal. So let's say you answered yes to number one. And as a basic rule of thumb, let's say you want to double your money. And as I explained to my students, you don't want to hit a home run. You don't want to throw that Hail Mary pass every time. You don't want to go for that big win each time. You want to go for small wins in this industry. And if you can double your money a whole bunch of times, life is looking pretty good. So rule number one, did you achieve your goal? And let's say we answered yes. We've got to move to number two. Number two is we have to have the chart above moving averages, because if we're below this is the 50-day moving average, and the blue one is the 100-day moving average, and the red one is the 200-day moving average. We want to sell when we're up here. We don't want to sell down here. We basically want to sell when the chart is going up. We don't want to sell when the chart is going down. We want to sell when everybody is saying that it could never stop, it's going to go up forever. We don't want to sell when people are calling for it to keep going down. All right? So these are basic rules of thumb. But the next one, rule number two, is it above at least the 50-day moving average? Is the chart above that? All right? So let's take our scenario. If we bought Bitcoin at 7,500 and we're going to sell it at 15,000. So right when it was above 15,000, we're not touching the 50-day moving average. We're above it. We're above the 100 and we're above the 200. Okay, so far, if we bought at 7,005 and we want to sell at 15, we've got 2 yeses so far. We need one more yes. So the third one is the RSI. And the RSI is this guy down here. That's the relative strength index. We'll go ahead and we'll make this a little bit darker. The relative strength index tells us the health and wellness of Bitcoin. Basically, if it's above 70, it's overbought and it's time to sell. When everybody's buying, we want to sell, and it works every time. I'll show you more charts in a little bit later. Anytime it's below 40, it's time to buy. That's when everybody is selling. When everybody is selling, it's time to buy. And historically, that works out every time as well. So let's follow our scenario. We want the RSI, rule number 3, is we want the RSI above 75. So let's take our scenario. We bought Bitcoin at 7,500. We want to sell at 15,000. We answered yes to the first question. Did we achieve our goal? We wanted to double our money. That's a yes. Our second one is it above these moving averages? Yes. The third one is the RSI above 75. So let's go down here. And if we were talking about Bitcoin 15,000, the RSI was at a 90. So actually a 95. Yes, we achieved our goal on all 3 levels. So we are able to sell in that front. We just want the RSI to be above a 75. And this point right here for the RSI of Bitcoin was the second highest in 9 years. So this was a pretty historic time to sell Bitcoin, to really take some profit. It went up slightly after that, but this is the time you want to buy down here when the RSI is below 40. Right now the RSI is getting up a little bit to 50, so it's not in the range that I will be purchasing. But let's go over some more examples. Tron. This is the chart for Tron, TRX. And anybody that's in our classes, which a lot of you guys are, to get this chart to look exactly like this, just click here on Open. And we've got all the charts right here that we're using in these YouTube videos. So all the students, just click right here. It comes with the classes, and you can get the charts to look exactly like this. So let's run through 3 scenarios. So a lot of people may be holding Tron right now, and you're thinking, wow, I bought Tron up here at these high levels. I'm holding now still, and I'm just waiting and hoping and praying. Should I sell? Is it time to sell? Let's go over the scenarios. Let's start with rule number 1. Did we achieve our goal? And if you say to me, Steve, I didn't have a goal back then. I just bought it and I thought it would go up. That's okay. We'll create goals moving forward. So let's move to number 2. Is it above the moving averages? Right now, the answer is no, it's not. And we've got to look at the RSI next. The RSI is climbing because we've had a huge correction with Tron. But the RSI is climbing. Right now, we are heading up towards 70. It looks like we had a little bit of some resistance at 73. And we're trying to climb up. So my advice, if you hold Tron and you bought it on the way up, be patient. Be patient. I bet within a year from now, it's going to present a good time to sell. So you've got to be patient. Now, next, I want to give you some idea of what I previously did with one of my recent sells, which I also shared with my students. So this is Walton, WTC. I've covered this in a few videos. I really love this coin. Now, I bought Walton over, let's see. I bought Walton over here. And what I wanted to do, so this is in BTC value. So I'll put it to you guys in USD value. I bought Walton at about $8 and change. And my goal was to 4x my money, or at least 3.5x my money. And I was lucky when I bought it. I bought it looking at the RSI. The RSI was down. I purchased Walton and I let it ride. And it moved pretty quickly. And this was the time the altcoin rally was in full force. So that $8 purchase went up pretty quickly into the 30s. So I was looking at the RSI. The RSI was climbing up to 87. I had achieved my goal. It was more than triple. It was a 350% gain. The RSI was looking good, and we were way above the moving averages. You can see the moving averages were down here, and I sold up here. Now, I want to warn you guys about when you sell, the fear is if it keeps going up. But we can't have that mindset. Everybody has a fear of selling when it's on the way up. You should be selling when it's on the way up. You shouldn't be selling when it's on the way down. You should not be selling on the way down. That's why if you have a strategy, you remove all emotions and you keep it simple. I followed my rules. I bought it here. I wanted a 3.5x multiple on my money. I got it. I looked at the RSI. The RSI was screaming to sell. It was up over 85. It was up 86, 87. Clear sign to sell. And the third thing is we're way above the moving averages. So we were really overextended. We went on a really big run up. So all signs were pointing to sell. And it's emotional to sell because the coin kept climbing, not by much, but it did climb up and maybe until like $42, $43, and then we had a massive sell-off. So right now I'm actually watching Walton, and if the RSI drops below 40, I'm going to pick some up again. This is a great coin. I believe in the project, but I achieved my goal. I wasn't swinging for the fences. I wasn't trying to get a Hail Mary pass. I wanted to 3.5x my money, and I did. And it was in the span of a few weeks, but I just followed my strategy. I didn't overcomplicate it. I just followed my strategy. And a lot of people, let's go back to the Bitcoin chart, because a lot of people try to time the tops and time the bottom to sell and to buy. You should never do that because you're going to lose a lot of money that way. What I would want you guys to do instead is follow your strategy. If you don't have a strategy, that's why I have the classes down below. I love teaching people and making it simple. So you have to have a strategy, and you have basic rules as a strategy, and you remove all emotion. If you're trying to time the top and time the bottom, you're going to lose a lot of money. And I made a video saying that Bitcoin could go down to 3,500. And on another video, I said that my signals, my strategy was telling me to buy at 8,000. And I got a lot of comments like, Steve, if you think it's going down to 3,500, why would you buy at 8,000? Simple, my strategy. I'm not trying to time the bottom. Nobody knows if it's going down to 3,500. In fact, maybe it won't, maybe it will. Nobody knows. But what I do know is my strategy. My strategy always guides me in the right direction, and my strategy is built to make me money, not trade on emotion. So follow your strategy, guys. It's very important. So here's some basic scenarios. Again, this is what we want to look at, the 3 signs in order to buy and sell. I hope you guys found this useful and helpful. Let's try to get 200 likes on this video, and there's a couple more things I want to share with you. We had mentioned the classes briefly, but the classes, I want to tell you guys, the classes there are 3 classes. There's a beginner class that's linked below that covers everything foundational. If you're very new to crypto, this class is for you. The second class is an intermediate, covers the 2 most important things in crypto: charts and strategy. All right, the 2 most important things. And the advanced class goes into those 2 things in an advanced level. So would love to hear from you guys. If you have questions, I have my email linked for the classes as well. I also want to tell you guys I have my Twitter open down below, link down below, because let's be honest, this is a complicated industry, and I know a lot of you guys have lost money over the past few months, and that's fine. You shouldn't be concerned about that. But it is a complicated industry. So I have my Twitter open. You can DM me. I'm answering all humans. There's so many messages, but I have answered every single human that has written me, because I just want to be there for you guys, because it is very complicated. All right. So the last thing I'll share with you is these charts. I have the Coinigy so that you guys can set them up just like this. That's also linked down below. I think that is it. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day. Thank you guys so much for watching, and welcome everybody who is new to the Crypto Crew. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that button right now. We welcome you into our crew, and I look forward to welcoming you guys into our classes. Fist pound to the Crypto Crew. Peace and love, everybody.